Yeah, so this is gonna be the first group, or our first match in our group of B. And it's kind of hard to bet against. Yeah, it's a good start for me. It's gonna be a good start for this match. Don't worry, it's gonna be a start for the group. But Evil Geniuses, obviously, it's got to be ridiculously hard to ever bet against them, considering the results they have had in recent times. United gonna be starting off on the T side here on Vertigo. And the thing is, I did talk to their coach as well, Chet, before we actually started the match, and he was saying, like, yeah, actually in Malmo, once we got knocked out, we just practiced. So they actually took all that time and tried to revamp their play a little bit and improve on it. But on eUnited's side, to be fair, even though Freakazoid was brought in kind of last second before ESL won New York, he actually was like the top fragger up against Team Liquid. But they did all right considering things.
I like this though, they've gone for a full execution. 3 Molotovs purchased up in the pistol round, which is fairly uncommon. Unfortunately, they have lost the first man, but Cooper is going to be there to trade. Ethan finds one back, and we're just going on a backwards and forwards ride, Jason. 2 people dropped a piece and just trying to defend this off. Cirque will net another frag. Is it going to go back once again? No, Cirque is going to put his foot down and try and put a bullet in Freakazoid's head. He still managed one, but that will be all as the CT side get themselves that retake. The bomb at least planted, so that might be something early that could be coming in from eUnited. And that's actually one of the things I want to see from them. Take risks. Like going into the next 2 matches, you can focus more on trying to play more defaults, playing quote-unquote your own game. But I think in this match, you have to try and do something a little bit ridiculous. Try and catch your opponents off guard. And, well, we see a lot of teams nowadays go for this early buy, and I'm glad to see it here.
Yeah, I'd agree. See something a little bit crazy. I mean, what do you really have to lose here? This is a match that's going to be so difficult for them overall. Why not try to catch them off guard and do something that might be a little bit unique to get you some rounds and potentially a map win? But I want to see, more importantly, how eUnited's been able to adapt with Freakazoid coming into the team. Before New York, there really wasn't much time to practice with them. Obviously, playing with Cooper in the past, who was Marky as well with Swole Patrol. Like, they should generally all know how to play together. But we've seen Freakazoid even back on the Cloud9 days. He can put up some big numbers. He can be a solid player for the team. And he's going to need to be even more than that as we go into Sinfudo. He's able to take the head off of Ethan. That's over towards the A site, so they get the first man advantage. And instead of actually executing over towards A and picking up the pace, they slow things down. Trying to use this advantage in their favor.
Yeah, this will be the alarm bells for EG. They now know that there's a force buy-in and, well, a boost spot that will soon be gone. So a last hurrah for players to be able to use that little gap to get further into the site. They've sent Vanity in, only has a pistol available, so not a massive loss. And they are going to be able to take quite a bit of control. Marky could still go down, but they've got the Molotov to stop anybody pushing in, and we're going to be into a retake once again. This time, though, not a whole lot of utility, and the weapon advantage is actually with the T side, especially now that that Deagle has actually managed to find a kill. Of course, as mentioned by Dust on the desk, there are plenty of players that can clutch this round out for EG. Pretty much every single one of them could have that big player moment. However, the time is now ticking. They do still have a kill. He's going to pick off one more. Cirque will fall as well, and it's left on to Breezy, and he can't do anything. eUnited, they break back with the force buy, and now have the chance themselves to try and convert this next round.
But again, seeing the power of what the SG can do. You get the initial kill. It's actually a nice placement, taking Ethan out of the fight, and actually respect the play for eUnited there, actually slowing things down and not really rushing into the site, trying to figure out what they do want to execute, or how they want to execute in towards the site. And now going into the 3rd round, obviously we're seeing Evil Geniuses with just some pistols bought up and some armor. They're going to be rushing the air ramp. We've seen this so many times over the last 3 days with Group A, except it's going generally the same kind of way here for United, as they're able to just decimate the entirety of Evil Geniuses. And Tarek and Breezy, the last 2 alive. They might be able to get some kills, but you have Cooper low, you have Food relatively low. They can do some damage to the economy and take away some weapons, which would be important. And it's not like there's any SMGs on the side of eUnited, so if they drop the weapons, they're going to stay down.
Yeah, this was actually a full investment as well, coming out from EG, so they'll be able to face off against an eco into the next round. The other thing as well is I actually am interested in how this veto actually went for eUnited, like from their perspective, because obviously EG, their bans at the moment, it's mainly been Vertigo and then either that or it's Overpass. So those are the only 2. Every other map, again, as it was said on the desk, they're willing to play. Now, eUnited's best map, or at least ones we've seen them upset teams on and do quite well on online matches, is Overpass. So it seems like EG basically just went, okay, that's the lesser of 2 evils. But I wonder if eUnited actually prepared for that and went, okay, well, we haven't played much Vertigo either, But let's make sure we're ready to face off against EG on this map, so that if they do ban Overpass, which we would have picked, then we still have something else that we can have as a bit of a surprise. Because that's what I think they need in this matchup. They need to catch EG off guard. Because if you go to like a map that both teams are happy to play, EG are going to win. Like, they have to win. Whereas a map like this, well, they've only played it once. Sure, they did very well versus FaZe, but it was a brand new FaZe roster that literally hadn't played a competitive match before. In fact, didn't even know if the team that was going to be the team. Like, coldzera was literally announced by his own Instagram picture and a reflection in a window. Like, it was, people knew, but no one actually said it until the very last second. But yeah, eUnited, they get their second round. They're going to be able to likely get a third as well, because there's going to be nothing invested into this round from EG, just waiting to get the rifles. And that's sort of the benefit of these 4 SPY victories, is now they really can get off to a flying start economy-wise.
Well, you did mention, you know, trying to prepare for this map to maybe catch Evil Geniuses off guard, but it's a best of 3. It's not a best of 1. You're still going to have to eventually fight Evil Geniuses on equal footing, and that's where Evil Geniuses should be able to take the match against you.
At the same time, look at the previous group. An extra map can do quite a lot.
That is true.
Like, it changed the standings in the end. Like, I think Furia, if they'd managed to win their one of their series 2-0, or if they'd even, I think if they got an extra map versus Envy or something like that, then they would have been actually the ones going through first in the group and
they beat MIBR 2-0. They would have been first.
So an extra map can make all the difference, especially when the next 2 teams they face are not EG. Like, I think that's the best way to put it. Like, yeah, okay, Cloud9, their roster looks decent on paper. Complexity as well brought in some strong components.
Definitely strong.
But, yeah, realistically, this is not the match that you're expecting to win.
Well, we're going to be still into the 4th round. Even eUnited with the man advantage have been slowing things down up against just the pistols out of Evil Geniuses. I'm actually really curious to see how like Complexity will play. I know we're kind of a tangent here, but considering they brought in BlameF and Rush. I mean, BlameF had really good success in Heroic. Was able to take them to 2 top 8 finishes in his time there. But I think the question for me is that like is that the final form of their roster? Or will things potentially be changed around?
Yeah, maybe before they were just bulking, and now
they're cutting.
Yeah, I definitely knew the second word. I've only got to the bulking stage, you know.
Yeah, but when you cut, it's just gonna be like you're gonna be so swole, so swole. Stanislav's been able to recover an SG, so some extra money for them to save for that next round. A bit of a slow start for Evil Geniuses, to be fair, but again, it's refreshing to see eUnited be able to take these first 3 rounds like this and at least get the early rounds on the board. I still want to see, you know, the 2 brothers, Freakazoid and Cooper. They were the standout players up against Team Liquid and ENCE at ESL1 New York. But obviously, they didn't really win much in that one.
Yeah,
so.
I think it was one of the series. I think that was probably versus ENCE. Cooper was like +10 or something and had a lot of like impact. The rest of the team never really showed up at all. So like, I definitely think that they have more opportunities here. Like, you played against, well, obviously ENCE and Liquid. Like, I think the teams they have later in the tournament, obviously if they can even like put up some decent numbers here, I think that's like a good sign from them. But here we go. We've now got our purchase in. As you mentioned, Stan has managed to save the SG. Ethan's gone for utility, so we'll have to have an SMG into this round. But look at the cash that's already there for eUnited. There are 3 players, well, either around 7 grand or just below it, and that's at least going to give them a few buy rounds in a row, even if they lose this. If they win this, well, they're going to be flying high. At least for now, more of a default round, just probing around the map to see if anybody is going to be getting aggressive, maybe expecting some limitations in utility or weaponry, which there are. And Breezy is just currently playing that anchor role. Now, this is a team that maybe they don't have too much data on this map, but they will have watched for tendencies, at least with the different players. That's disgusting, though. Marky gets that opening pick. Now, as mentioned, he is the sole defender of this site, so they're going to have to pull rotations elsewhere. You can see the patience from the remaining eUnited players. They're not overly rotating. In fact, they're going to A.
This is the 3rd round we've seen now out of the 5 where they get an early kill and they don't rush a site. They still take their time. They've actually, like you said, switched up to hit over towards the A position. obviously against weapons this time, so gonna be extra careful. But Ethan with the SMG might be able to actually do some decent damage. The problem is the smokes are being thrown down, the Molotovs as well to force Cirque back. eUnited is playing for the retake, I was gonna say, until Stanislaus fallen. Maybe they should play for the save here in a 3-on-5. Now a 2-on-5. I think saving their weapons is the best they can hope for.
Yeah, and the weaponry they're saving isn't even that great. You've got Tarek, who literally just has an M4 and the SMG onto Ethan, and he's not going to be able to get the kill onto Cooper either. A great start from eUnited on the T side of this map. Tarek just trying to hide it. Of course they're going to be hunting this down. They could literally lose 3 or 4 players here, and that would be absolutely fine with the amount of money they have. Tarek trying to get the kills. We finally see someone able to get a double off the back of sneaking around. Even still, though, as mentioned, that's fine. That 2-for-1 trade is absolutely fine. They get rid of the gun. It's going to mean in the next round, there's still only going to be some pistols for the CT side. And, well, yeah, eUnited, so far, so good.
I love how you pointed that out. Someone finally able to get like a double sneaking, considering the fail we had happen yesterday on air.
3 fails.
Yeah, too many to count.
But then one of them was put in the clips at the end, which was mean.
Didn't that one win?
Yes. Because people are evil. But yeah, no surprise. EG going to be taking an early timeout here because ultimately so far this has been actually quite dominant out from the side of eUnited. The second they got any weaponry in their hands, sure, the pistol went the way of EG, but that last round was, well, a fantastic opening pick on the B site, and then basically just rotating away and managing to get the entries on A instead. Like, so far, they've looked pretty damn good.
And it's not like, at least in my eyes, that eUnited's winning necessarily off of like strategy. They're winning off of just these picks. Yeah. It's not like they've even been set up for these picks. It's not like there's a flashbang coming through to allow, you know, Marky to hit the shot. He just completely destroyed Breezy there over towards the B position, just like we saw with Ethan before in a couple of rounds prior. So eUnited individually able to hit their shots, but at some point, Evil Geniuses, they're gonna wake up, and that's when we need to see United start to work together a bit more. But I do like, again, this calm play style that United's going with. Think back to Furia and Swole Patrol on this map from Group A, and it was just basically rushes almost every round, or at least the aggressive style of pushing in. And this time, Food, he's looking for another entry over towards the A site. I still don't want to count Evil Geniuses out just yet. The Deagles can be ridiculous out of them. But even Freak trying to hold for a potential flank.
Well, patient play from the T side, slowly building into what looks like an A execution, and that kill is definitely going to help them out. The only worry is there's 3 players here now from the CT side. I think one of them might be blind. Cirque caught out as they run around the corner. Bomb still needs to be planted. I think that might be where we see the CTs look to actually make some sort of move, but with the smokes being down, they're unable to really find anything. Breezy will manage one at least through the smoke, and now Saturn to retake this is going to be tough, and Cooper already pinging off the head. Leaves just Stan and Breezy left. Make that just Breezy, and even he's not going to be able to do anything off the SG of Marky. He's looked very good so far. 5 kills to his name already. And another round onto the board. But this is where we should see everything now purchased up for EG. If they want the AWP, they have the finances to do it. They can get the rifles on every single player. There shouldn't be any more SMGs, or at least I hope not. And this is where they need to start rising to the occasion, because they are the out-and-out favorites in this group. There's no questions there. I think even the slightest show of vulnerability and teams are going to pounce.
The upside for Evil Geniuses, though, is this is one of the last times they'll actually have to play Vertigo in its current state. I believe coming around to the second group stage is when we're going to be using the updated Vertigo, giving some teams, obviously, time to practice the map. But with eUnited now, 7 rounds playing so slow, so passive, I wonder when they're going to make that moment, that decision to, hey, let's just push. Let's just get really quick on them, because Evil Geniuses have been able to save a lot of utility later into the round. Not too many smokes to use on their side, but they have so many incendiaries to go for denying any sort of plant. At least able to do some damage on the throwdown, and potentially if they go towards A, keep them back towards ramp. But Cirque with the op, that's what it's going to be all about for me. You heard Dust talking about it, saying probably the best opper in North America at the moment. See if he can live up to the praise.
We see this off angle used an awful lot on Vertigo at the moment, but even still, Ethan is going to be able to get that kill without any real response. I think that's the first time we've actually seen EG get a man advantage. It doesn't last too long, however. But here comes Tarek through the smoke with a flashbang assistance, and he's just going to clean up this round. 3 sprayed down, and only Freak left. Damage would be great. They've got so much money they can purchase for the next maybe even 3 or 4 rounds. But he's not going to be able to do anything here. 5-2. EG finally get back on the board after what was a 5-round streak coming in from eUnited. The question is, though, is this going to be the start of a streak for them, or will eUnited be able to break back off what is going to be a flawless bye?
Well, that was one of the first rounds that evogenesis didn't get killed first. They didn't lose the first duel.
Yeah.
You saw, you know, Ethan using that girder position, and he was able to safely back away. No return frag coming back at him. But now evogenesis have been able to stabilize a little bit. Now they have, obviously, everything they need into the round, and they have a little bit of money behind it. But now, again, Cirque's going to fall to Cooper. That's to be the first frag going to eUnited, again, winning out in the initial exchange. They've been so successful in closing out these rounds when they do get that first kill. But I think in terms of momentum, Cooper getting that kill into Cirque is a big win. Really helpful to the mindset of the team.
Yeah, the aggressive peak not working out for him. Clearly trying to dominate into ramp instead. Smoke's going to be set up.
Pretty sure that one missed.
Yeah.
I don't think he shot off the glass.
Thanks, Prius. Well, it means that it's not going to be working out. That was meant to be just the early smoke to, well, basically drop exactly here. So maybe used as a fake, though. Seems like the rest of the team are doubling back in the other direction. CT side are actually rotating players into this site. Food is going to be there to try and sell the fake. Question is, though, are they going to start rotating back? They are. It's some questions actually being asked now of the CT side. They're going to make their way in, but Food has got the entry on the other side of the map, and just look at the T's. There's a quick rotation. They're going to go running all the way back. They know that Food has got this aggressive angle, so they don't really need to worry about any other positions. It's just whether or not he goes down. Actually, Marky catches another one, and so does Food. It's left all onto Tarek, and he just about scrapes that kill. He may even kill himself. 1 HP, Molotov down. He just has to try and escape, and he can't do anything. Freakazoid closes the round. A fantastic round from Food as well, just being that little bit sneaky over on A. And I like that, the quick thinking. They could have just opted to continue their push into the B site. Instead, switch it back and get an easy plant and, well, an easy round.
And again, that was all off the back of just getting some early kills, getting the man advantage, and then of course the push towards A. I'm looking at United, and where's like the mid presence? They actually haven't gone that direction too often. I think the one time they did was when Cooper was able to kill Cirque. And then on the opposite end of that, evogenesis, maybe that's an avenue that they can use to actually punish United.
Yeah, I do think at the moment, though, in this map, or at least in the state it's currently in, mid is a place that's not really exploited too much. And for the CT side, it's a massive risk to try and push through this angle, just in case there is someone like Freakazoid holding, or just someone watching the flank when they do go for rotation. So, I don't know. So far for United, they haven't needed it. They've been so good on entries. Very good at catching out rotations as well. Like, fundamentally, this team is looking pretty good, especially when they've only really had 2 weeks of practice with Freakazoid coming into the team. Yes, it's been mentioned that, of course, he played with a few of these players before, and I think Freakazoid is someone who does seem to just fit into rosters very easily. Like, I think he's pretty good at, like, picking up different roles within the team, and I think someone as well that, like, will just follow the call to the letter, which is definitely something you want within your roster. The one rifle on Breezy is gone. He does at least manage a kill, but not really worth it in a round where the rest of the team only have pistols. Push will come in. There is information at least now, but Marky's managed to get so far onto this B site that they basically have to kill him off, otherwise the round will seemingly be over. Vanity just going to make his way in to plant the bomb, and, well, how do they retake when all they have is pistols?
Gotta hope for someone to pick up a big kill. Maybe Tarek can be the one to do it. In the meantime, it's actually going to be Ethan who's gone on the flank. He's got behind them. Going to force them to look on 2 different directions. But with Vanity getting that kill, it does force everyone to look on that T side back where they're coming from, the CTs. And This would be relatively easy. Freakazoid even flanking now in the meantime. And well, EG's not really going to have a chance to go for the retake here. They did a little bit of damage getting 2 kills, but not going to worry too much when you have Vanity on 14k, Marky on 11, Freakazoid on 12. Thought it was funny, by the way, that you mentioned, Freakazoid, seems to fit really well into teams. I feel like he fits better into teams than he does in a shirt sometimes with how buff he is. But at the same rate, I'm always scared seeing him in one of these chairs. Just knowing he's going to have his stream problem happen again. But no, well done for United. And I think this is a scoreline we never really expected coming into this match.
No, even this alone, just seeing it as 7-2, even though the map is not even close to being over, is a surprise. Like, this is meant to be one of the best teams in the world at the moment. Maybe even... the thing is, I want to say they're the most informed team, but obviously what happened at Malmo does throw that into question a little bit. Like, it's one of those events where you kind of go, okay, yeah, they came in jet lagged. Like, they don't want to give them excuses, but I kind of do. Like, the way that flight and the timing of everything just seemed absolutely atrocious. At the same time, did they ever leave? Because at the moment, it looks like they're still sat right there, jet-lagged and not playing well, even though they're not. It just seems like maybe they're underperforming, but also eUnited are just doing very well at taking the fights versus them. And that's sort of the problem with this map. Like, a lot of the time, CTs win rounds based off aggression. So if your opponent's able to get those picks and counter off of you, it seems very difficult to fight versus those executions. Ethan is already going to be trapped out. Nade going to be dunked in, and there you go, another opening picked up. They do have the double orb set up now in, and Tarek has caught Freakazoid in the meantime. But once again, it looks like they're setting up for this A execution, and so far, I think only once has EG actually managed to stop them.
We'll see if this could be number 2. Cirque, AWP looking for that first shot. Nice little flashbang comes through. It actually prevents from hitting it, but of course it's still going to tag down Vanity. Just like that, it's going to be a 2-for-2 exchange. Cirque going to be still alive with Breezy. There's actually nowhere to be seen. The bomb could be planted any moment now as United's still trying to make their way through. Worried about the smoke's dissipating, and Cirque, he's so quick, he's so accurate. Breezy might push the smoke, catches out Food, and well, there's the second time the Evil Genius has been able to hold them off the A site.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it comes off the back of just Cirque being able to hit his shots this time. Like, we haven't really seen him awaken within this server just yet. But again, it's whether or not this is just a sort of one-and-done round, because even still, like the opening picks have been coming. I want to know, in fact, how many opening duels they've actually been able to win. I think it's pretty much every single round except maybe the pistol and the one other round that was actually won. So.
Well, you mentioned, by the way, that CT's getting aggressive to look for picks on this map. But United have been playing so passive. They haven't really been giving too many opportunities for Evil Geniuses to hit those, which I think is one of the reasons why we're seeing this kind of scoreline at the moment. But it seems like they've woken up. They come together a little bit. They have the double op setup carried over from the last round. And again, Food and Cooper are going to be working together to look for a shot. There are 3 players on the CT side to defend, and Tarek is locking down middle. And they're leaving B, to be honest, very susceptible. It's very open. Breezy's still the only one really there to defend, and then M4 could completely be overrun.
Yeah, that's the way that most teams are playing this map at the moment. Like, you've got to look at this, in a sense, as a Dust 2. Like, they have to gamble on positions they're going to be defending. A lot of the time, the A site is the more prominent of the two, and at the moment, eUnited really have been forcing the issue. I love it! They work out exactly where Cirque was playing in the previous round. They adapt, and they nade stack him out. That is fantastic work from eUnited, but can they now convert this? There's multiple CT players already and waiting for this push to come in. Lots of damage has been done as well onto eUnited. Nobody sat healthy, but the bomb is going to be going down. Breezy coming in on the flank. I think he's going to catch out Vanity, and Freakazoid a little bit more of an off angle. Stan's just burned all the way down. It'll be finished off by Cooper, but it's traded back in. Breezy needs this kill. It's probably the most important kill of the round. If he can get this, then there's a decent chance of them taking things back. His teammates will have so much more space on the site, and it's a lot of noise being made, but Freakazoid is now going to find the pick. Cooper trades the kill from Tarek, and it's left all onto Ethan, but Cooper hits all 3 shots. 11-5 at the moment, and once again, it's a singular round for EG, and then a bounce back from eUnited.
But also, again, eUnited get the first kill, and they take the round. I really wonder what their success rate is for getting first kills.
I think they got the second one in this round. Tarek got an opening pick with the AWP. But they get the first kill onto the site with the nade stack. But that was innovative. I like it. Like, these are the sort of plays that you watch someone like Astralis pull out nade stacks quite a lot. But that was clearly calculated. They went, okay, where did we die from last round? Cirque was sat on the bags, and we just couldn't get rid of him. Okay, let's just throw nades over there. And if we get ourselves a kill, great. And they've tried it in a couple of rounds where they actually nade stack the sandbags close, like the more aggressive ones on the A side. They did that around like, a couple of rounds before when there was no one there. And then they just Molotoved it the next round where Ethan actually was there. But they have been trying stuff like this already. And I have to say, so far, I'm thoroughly impressed. And most of the time, you see these sort of things when you're countering a team. But EG have only played this map once. There's not that much to counter. This just seems like they know exactly what they're doing on Vertigo.
I mean, considering the map is changing so drastically, if you did have the map prepared, you might as well use it now, right? Freakazoid gets the initial kill on the Stanislav. Doesn't really take any damage at all. See United rotate. Oh my gosh. Did he see him?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
He saw him just slightly walk past. Ooh. Cooper almost goes down there. A couple of shots hit from Ethan. Breezy knows there's a man in mid and just domes him. Freakazoid finally put down, but even still, there's only 2 players remaining. Breezy has managed to get an SG, and he's in the right place at the right time. The Molotov's going to be coming over. Nades as well.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. They really don't want him to see anything, and he still gets a kill. Nathan's actually might be able to deny the plant. He's going to get a kill. And the second with the Deagle, finally! This team springs into life, as now Cooper is left alone. 13 HP, an AWP in his hand, and how do they win that round? Of all the rounds EG have had the chance to win, how on earth is it that one?
Breezy and Ethan. I don't know how he even sees Vanity through the fire, considering how much was thrown there. They look like the Amazons. But Ethan, you have to be, like, the shot. The second one as well in the food was phenomenal. Yeah, the bomb gets planted, but it's not like eUnited was hurting for money. And then, of course, the pick at the end. Cooper not able to hit the shot with not really any HP to work with. But 8-4, that's still, like, an amazing scoreline for eUnited. Let's not forget about that. But Evil Genius is able to buy back up and trade rounds, more importantly. The money is starting to dwindle away for United. So maybe if Evil Genius can take this round, they might have a 6 on the board as well.
Yeah, the worry is I feel like even if EG get to like 6-7 rounds, they're still a threat. They did well on their T-side versus FaZe the one time we did see them play this map. So you can never count them out. I think we cast that much, didn't we? There was an almost 1v5 coming out from Breezy with the SG on the B site.
Honestly, I can't remember who we casted yesterday, so.
Don't worry, that's why I'm here, Jason. Ethan manages the first kill. And that has been one of the clinical factors in this map so far, is whoever seems to get the first pick normally manages to win the round. Of course, the last one's going to be a bit of an exception. Breezy though already picks off the flanker. That's been one of the main things for eUnited, as they managed to get people in behind. Cooper does hit a shot with the AWP, and actually Food has managed to bring this back. It's now a 3v3 situation. There's a good chance here. One more drop for either side. Marky gets a fadeaway shot, and now it's left all onto Sack. He's just going to stick it, trying to hold for the defusals, close, but not enough. Marky with another double, and eUnited. That was a round I did not expect them to hold on to. Was that a 5v3?
It was something ridiculous. One thing, though, that I think we can look at, if you've been watching the way United are holding after play, I mean, it's pretty standard, but Cooper's getting behind those sandbags almost every single time. And the position that he's holding, and then he's able to offer to the team, well, Evil Geniuses have been able to dislodge him. Maybe saving a Molotov later on into the round would be able to push him away so you can get a kill to open up the site. But when Marky's hitting shots like that, what really can you do? Going into round 14, and it's a 9-4 scoreline. The map coming for Evil Geniuses, and it's not pretty. 1 SMG, 1 CZ. I wouldn't mind seeing them like rush down ramp again, like with weapons or something like that. I mean, obviously I'm a big fan of just pushing aggressively, like we see every time on Mirage. But the thing is, with how passive United's holding, maybe can get a kill too.
Oh
Tarek,
my god!
18 HP again. The utility damage. I think that's something we need to look at.
Oh, that's so brutal. He gets triple naded.
We need to look at utility damage at some point, because it's got to be off the charts for United.
I love it. I love when a team is just using their utility
Not now.
so well.
217 for Ethan. Oh, that's the wrong team. Okay, come back. Bring it back one more time.
It was a few of the players on about 100.
Okay. But I mean, the point is, Evil Genius has played this map once. eUnited seem to have these nades just perfectly placed to pluck a kill in multiple rounds.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that we haven't seen this more, because it seems quite smart. A lot of them are standard positions, so... There we go. Cooper, a little bit sneaky, manages to catch out Cirque, and Ethan around the edge of that smoke. Don't really know what he can do here. Stan's going to be caught by Freakazoid. He's been in a different position every single time they've rotated. It's just evil. Like, his positions are just a little bit sadistic, where it's like, you know, I was there last round. I'm not there anymore. And just, like, catches him every time.
These positions wouldn't work out of him if the rest of his team wasn't able to get into a bomb site. So there's a lot of confidence, I think, out of him towards his team to be able to take these sites, get the bomb down, to allow him to constantly cut off the flank and prevent anyone Evil Geniuses from getting through. And look at that, 163 for Vanity, 151 for Cooper. It's a lot of damage, and considering you have 220 out of Ethan, I feel like eUnited have been able to get way more kills with utility on the side of EG. And we can get some aggression that I wanted to see, just not really with the right weapons.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't look like this aggression is going to be working out at all. Yeah, I think the most interesting, although the utility damage isn't like crazy high, it's off the back of HEs most of the time, and it's normally a combination of a few players. Right? It's just a smart way to get yourself an easy kill, and well, 3 players remaining. The weaponry's really not great in this round for EG. This is just their sort of leftovers buy to try and get something done in this round.
I think we did a match in V4 on Inferno where I think it was MIBR had like 600 utility damage.
Inferno's like the one though.
Yeah.
Inferno's the one where everybody knows how to get utility damage, even I can. Cooper. Oh, okay, he's low on HP. It just wrecks both Tarek and Stan, and Breezy. He almost got a 1v5 the last time we... Oh, never mind. Oh, that scream was intense. Wow. What a half. I don't even know what to say. Like, genuinely, this is one of the most impressive performances I've seen from an underdog ever. 11-4. EG just look out of place. Like, they look like they're being outclassed in a lot of these situations. All the entries are going the way of their opponents. You can see Tarek just sort of get, like, smiling away. I think that's almost the smile of, when we come back, you're going to hear about this.
Well, let's see if we will after the short break.
Born like a fire in the eye of a hurricane. Always told, stay in line, be alright, better play it safe. I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I've passed the point of no return, something is calling me, it's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again. Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Fly so high they can't touch us. So top notch, none above us. We done came so far, now we up now. Had a vision, stuck to it, never back down. Never had much, now we own the whole thing. Spread it all around the world, watch it all change. Came alive, now they all see the greatness. Light shine so hard they can't take it.
Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Come alive.
I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I've passed the point of no return, something is calling me. It's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again. Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Well, speaking of turning up and coming alive, eUnited. They have shown up here on Vertigo in the first half. 11-4 scoreline on the T side. And Cooper, 17-7.
For anybody who's wondering or just tuned in, those stats are not the wrong way around. Like, genuinely, eUnited have dominated this first half. And now, well, we get to see what EG have to offer. They won themselves the previous pistol round, which makes this scoreline even more surprising. Those odds have been slashed down. Cooper is already going to find the opening pick. Does get dinked up, so has to try and fall back. And bomb still lurking on the other side of the map. This isn't looking like a full take just yet from EG. Waiting patiently. They've got some utility to expend, but I wonder if this is just an elaborate ruse to try and bait people off of the B site.
I bet whoever's working at Betway is like, come on, United, you're making me do some extra work here. Make me change these odds around with that score line. But yeah, we're going to see the push come in. It's just going to be Stanislav by himself to cause a distraction. The rotations will not be pulled a little bit. Freakazoid kept over towards the A side as they're walking in and pushing in directly towards B now. But Marky's going to be there, but Marky will only get one. Stanislav can potentially catch off a rotate, but it's just going to be Cooper's now Vanity. Trying to overrun the bomb site here. Breezy forced off the plant. And he gets the first. Freakazoid actually comes in and takes down Cirque. Now they have the bomb, and it's Stanislav by himself against 3. He's given his position away.
Yeah, he needs to get more kills in this round than he did in the whole of the previous half, and I can't say I was too much of a believer. eUnited are going to get themselves a second pistol, and unlike them in the first half, there is no bomb plant here for the T side. So they're not even going to have that sort of extra option to go for a risky force buy up maybe an SG or two, and just basically give it to Breezy and go kill.
Do your thing.
Yeah, like it's one of those rounds where, okay, they normally would save, but they've gone for a pistol force up. I think it really shows how much of a horrible situation they're in, that they feel like they have to try and risk this. And to be fair, there's a lot of SMGs on the other side of the board. It does, however, leave them with an awful lot of utility. There's a flashbang being set up just to try and pop them right up the stairs, and here they go, charging in to try and fight versus this defense. Freakazoid will have got a little bit of information. There's some smokes available for this CT side just to try and hold them back a little bit. Nade even going to tank down a little bit of damage as well.
We're still going to see the execute come through. Smoke's being thrown down. They have to push their own smoke themselves, which Marky actually might push out to watch. Gets hit with the Molotov. Flashbangs as well. And he's so blind that Stanislav's able to actually get in towards the site, almost doubling his kill score for the first half. Vanity comes in, and Freakazoid's there to help shut this down. Breezy by himself. United up to 13. You know what surprises me, though, Tom? If you compare them to, like, Envy yesterday, even though they're winning these rounds against one of the top teams in the world, who recently won a massive title at ESL in New York, there's no screaming. There's no taunting.
There was at the end of the half. I think they're holding it in. They're not getting ahead of themselves. Like, this is one of those matches where I think there's such a heavy underdog that they realize how focused they need to be. Like, until the last round goes through, you can't be celebrating just yet. At the halftime, they were given a couple of minutes break to sort of go, okay, let's get all of our screaming out at once. But here we go. Just a nice cleanup round. Barely anything invested for the T side. They can't afford it at the moment. And, well, basically that force buy means that this next round could potentially be one of their only buys in this whole half. Vanity just going to go blazing in. Finds another kill, third for him in the round, and making a lot of extra money. The smart's starting to creep in, but there's still a road to go. And this is where things get a little bit trickier, as the buy will come up for EG.
What was that?
It's definitely not the same sort of screams we were getting from Som. Like, his were much more high pitch, like, woo!
Let's go!
Let's go! And this is
other
like,
things we can't say.
yeah, this is more like screeches. Like, they sound like they're painful.
Maybe it's Evil Geniuses then, because it's looking painful in this match. 14-4, 2 rounds away for United to close out this first map and turn it to Inferno. Stanislaw able to get the entry, though, onto Vanity. United might get caught off guard as they get aggressive, looking for a pick. And now EG just slowing the pace down. A lot of smokes to use in Molotovs. I would imagine the B side is definitely where they're going to want to hit. It's going to be Marky by himself. This Food's going to have to rotate to help out. And again, the flashbangs are good. They're constantly catching up defenders on the unit side. But Food comes in through the window to the wall, takes down 2 kills. And now it's down to a 3-on-3.
Yeah, Marky's still within the site. They need to retrieve the bomb, and the rotation has now come in. Cooper not going to connect, though. He gives Ethan just a slight chance, and that's enough. Food now making his way around to try and get in with his teammate. He's got a couple of incendiaries he can throw out. In fact, Ethan starts to burn alive, and the push now made forward by Marky needs a moment to reload, and don't really seem to be gaining any ground, but that's the moment they needed. That one pick. The second comes out from Marky as well, and now Ethan's stuck at the back of the site with everything left to do just to keep them in this map, and he can't do it. Marky's going to help with that retake. Triple kill for him, and even without the kit, he's going to have enough time for the defusal.
I swear I saw a player running away. Yeah. You look a little, are you a little jealous?
Very jealous. Very, no, I don't want you to do it.
I'm starting out as buff and handsome as Freakazoid. I'm trying to get there.
He's just going to be like, ow, my shoulder.
But considering, I think that first kill Marky gets onto Breezy, I think Food was running away to save his weapon. But then he gets that kill and he gets a second on Tarek, and Food's like, okay, I'm here to help you out. I'm here to finish off this round. He's able to get the triple like you mentioned.
I'll take a bullet for you.
Yeah, I'm helping. But there you go. 1 round away from taking the first map against Evil Geniuses, who obviously didn't look too well at Malmo. A little bit of a tech pause coming through this time to maybe allow Evil Geniuses to figure out what's going wrong within their team.
Maybe they get their monitors turned on.
That I heard that does help you improve.
I'm in shock. Like, this isn't a map that they play, granted, but even still, like we've seen a few different teams.
We can't hear you. Ah, yes, thank you. I am looking good today. Appreciate that, Freak.
Okay, I worked out one of the words there, but I can't repeat it.
I couldn't work it out. I was distracted by his
what?
traps. His traps. The muscle here.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. Well, yeah, technical pause, although I'm sure EG might need a little bit of a moment to just, well, wake up. But yeah, that's saying, it's one of those maps that they don't play, but even still, like, you look at, say, I've seen Hellraisers when this map was first coming out. They didn't play the map, but they were still able to just like work things out as they went along, get a little bit aggressive, and their individual skill was enough to actually take them over the line in that matchup. Here, we've not really seen any of that. Like, it's been a quiet performance across the board. I think Tarek had a triple kill. I think we obviously had that round with the Deagles where Breezy and Ethan like managed to steal a round away. But the fact that we're talking about how there was a few hero plays and that was where they stole rounds, they've only got 4. Like, it just means they built nothing off the back of that.
Well, you're talking about, you know, Hellraiser's an individual skill, but we've just not seen any of that skill on Evil Genius' side. Like, they are losing these duels at the beginning of the rounds when they were on the CT side. They just weren't able to do the FPS 101, just be able to out-aim your opponent.
Cirque has not had a kill since the 2 AWP kills he got when they won a round.
Oof.
That is the last time he got a kill, and that was a long, long time ago. A galaxy far, far away. And that's where it feels like we are right now, because this is madness. Breezy's already down to 3 HP just off the back of utility. That's something we have to give props to eUnited for. It's clear that they've had their nades well prepped. Cooper also left alone. Like, they really are relying on him here. I don't blame them. 19 kills already, 105 ADR. Just going to use the flashbang to try and force anyone back at that moment. That's where Food rotates in and is there for a little bit of extra support. He as well has been performing. That's the one thing as well you have to really mention for United is that everyone's been playing well. Like there's not been someone slacking or falling behind. Like they really have been performing to a high level. Now, a minute left on the clock. Seeing a bit of mid control being taken by the T side. Something we haven't really witnessed too much within this map so far. Well, Freakazoid maybe about to get a little bit of a surprise. The smoke going to be going down. That should be most of the information they need. He's going to look to try and defend off the door. Vanity spotting out his opponents. Even going to cross over. So clearly expecting this to be a B play. And with 25 seconds up and coming on the clock, EG, I think they were expecting to get a kill here. I think somebody was meant to challenge them. That was what was going on in their minds. Instead, they've got so little time left to execute. Vanity does give away that first pick. Freakazoid may actually rotate away from the door at the wrong time. 12 seconds left on the clock, and Ethan is going to get another couple of entries. He may have just won them the round. And while this time it is just going to have to be the fallback from eUnited, try and hold on to that weaponry, but damn did they leave it late. And they will, in fact, even remove that AWP. In fact, maybe give it over to Cirque.
Well, he gets 3 kills. You mentioned the last time he got it was with the AWP, the double kill in that round. And now he's gotten 3 more finally, which feels like a lifetime ago. But the 1 round's not going to be enough. I mean, you have Evil Geniuses with their back to the wall on Vertigo. 15 rounds so far for United. They did leave it to the very last few seconds. I think they had about 5 seconds left and the bomb was actually planted. They were able to slowly gain a lot of control. I did want to mention that United put a lot of emphasis on the B site early on. They did some really good damage with it. In the meantime, we're seeing the rush come in down middle, sorry, down the ramp, and it does some good damage. Gets 2 kills. I always consider that like middle now for some reason in my head, just because I think of Mirage in the ramp and just rushing straight into it.
I think it's also because not that many people use mid.
Yeah.
Like it is sometimes. Like the previous round is a good example, but yeah, a lot of teams just negate it completely, or they use it as like a late flank. I think that's probably the most common way that you see mid actually utilized. Even still, so far, not too bad a round for United. I don't expect them to win this one, but at the same time, there's been a few rounds I didn't expect them to win. The clutch from Marky towards the end was a pretty big one, and he still stands. Doesn't have any Kevlar, and well, doesn't really have too much of a position on either of the sides. He's just holding into middle, so this should be a free bomb plant with not much he can really hope to do.
Ooh, oh, the timings.
Yeah, stands more than aware of possibility of someone coming through this spot. I think Marky's just hoping that someone crosses back, but this should be a 6th round onto the board. Freakazoid also very far away, and one of the players with the least money as well, so keeping this Kevlar may be worth it. And well, that alone should be enough for Marky to just run away. Like, not really much point doing too much more in this round. Though he's still peeking around. I suppose he's only got a deagle to lose. Like, it's not really that necessary. I think they've actually put something here to stop you jumping across that. So that won't be available anymore. He actually catches Tarek. The gun's gone off the map, so there isn't anything for him to save, but a little bit of bad timing. Stan and Breezy just trying to save in this corner. Nothing that Freakazoid can do, and while Marky might as well just throw himself to the wolves, but even still, 3 players killed, only 2 surviving for the T side. Sure, they're going to be purchasing off every single round because they have to, but they can at least maybe diminish some of the purchases.
Credit to Tarek, though, dying in a way that his gun would go off the map and to deny it. Because obviously you would have seen them take it into next round.
That is some ridiculous. Every single player above 100 utility damage. That's mental.
It It's approaching 1,000 actually for this map so far. It's only been 21 rounds. That's insane. Now we go into the buy-up. Cooper with the op yet again. Foog being completely flashed up as he has to back away. Still heavy emphasis on the B site as Breezy, I was going to say he should be able to win on that trade, but somehow Freakazoid comes out the better with an ump. Stanislaw now there to help protect the weapon potentially. Evil Genius is going to be down a man. It's interesting to see the different defensive holds out of United versus Evil Geniuses, where EG was keeping like 3 men on the A site and 1 man towards B with 1 towards middle to rotate. But United are keeping a lot more emphasis, a lot more control towards B. So they're really banking on Cooper and now Food here to pick up some early kills and then play for the afterplant.
Oh, flashbang in. Food so ready for that peek to come out from Ethan, and the bomb already going back in the direction of the A site. Cirque hoping that he can pick that kill off, but Food doesn't really have any sort of reason to peek, and they seem to be very good at holding on to these advantages. Cirque, oh, he catches him jumping, but Cooper still manages to find the pick, and now Tarek and Stan left, desperately trying to cling on to life in this map. I think this might be the end. Tarek will at least find an opening pick, but the trade is there so fast, and Stan has not had a good map. Cooper is going to close things, and that is a ridiculous upset to start things off. Vertigo 16-6 in favor of eUnited. I want to say that one more time. 16-6 in favor of eUnited versus EG. A massive upset in the first map. Of course, a map that we know that EG doesn't really play too much, but damn, that was dominating.